Welcome back to the Chris Fractions faction, or if you're new here, welcome in. What I do here on my channel is I do music reaction videos and music related content. Now today we're going to be checking out Motionless in White featuring Skylar Grey, and this is their song R.I.P. So without further delay, we're going to go ahead and get into it here. But if you haven't checked out Motionless in White, go over to their channel and show them some appreciation and check out their stuff and subscribe. And here we go.
If you ever leave, it would be the end of me. I would die, but I'd never rest in peace.
So coming into the opening of this, we had that sounded like a single piano keystroke repeatedly. So it felt kind of haunting in a manner. Then here we have Chris on the left, and I'm assuming this is Skylar Grey on the right. But if you look here, Chris is all in black with red roses, and Skylar is all in red with black roses. So to me, maybe that's taking that they were a couple here, and it's symbolizing a failed relationship, or perhaps that they were a couple that were in an accident or something and they just didn't survive or something of that nature. But it's a parallel here, I think, because Skylar has the dark roses, so that's symbolizing Chris in the black over here. And if I'm assuming this correctly, the Chris with the red roses is symbolizing Skylar to the right over here. That's an interesting detail. But let's go ahead and get back into it here.
Never sleep without you buried next to me. I would die, but I'd never rest in peace. I'd never rest in.
What's meant to be or meant to break has got to be decided. A requiem to seal our fate has got to be recited.
A requiem to recite our fate has yet to be decided. That's an interesting play on some lyrics there. It may just me be fanboying out here, but that would be an interesting twist if this were an insight into Resident Evil Requiem, but that's just me. I'm probably just hoping too much there, but anyway, we're going to get back into it here.
Was all this suffering just a waste? If emptiness fills the spaces, the bond has reached the bone. So if love is pain, then twist the blade and never let me go.
If love is pain, and twist the blade and never let me go. So that tells me that maybe if I'm reading into the lyrics, at least partaking right there anyway, that he wanted the relationship to work because he's willing to do what it takes to make it work, if I'm assuming that correctly.
Oh, if you ever leave, it would be the end of me. I would die, but I'd never rest in peace. I'd never sleep without you buried next to me. I would die, but I'd never rest in peace.
So I'd never sleep without you buried next to me. So to me, that could mean that maybe this is an obsessive relationship. Could be taken in that frame also. But I'm not exactly sure. But if you have clarification on that, you can feel free to leave that in the comments section below. But lyrically, so far, I am liking this song, and I'm liking the visuals as well. How we have I'm assuming this is a mansion here or some kind of a church, judging by the stained glass. But the visuals, they are helping sell the mood that's going on right now, and instrumentally, it's solid as well.
I'll never rest in peace.
So we had coming in with the lyrics of this last segment of the song where there were breaks near the end of the lyrics that Chris was singing there. That's an interesting touch. I'm not exactly sure what you called that though, but I did like how they put that little break in there at the end. That was a nice addition. But the lyrics are still particularly haunting. And then we had Skylar Grey, I'm assuming that was her singing, come in with her vocal part. Her vocal range, like I said, I don't know a lot about Skylar Grey at all, really. I'm not familiar with who she is, but if that's her vocal style, she has quite the pristine voice, I would say.
It would be the end of me. I would die, but I'd never rest in peace. I'd never sleep without you buried next to me. I would die, but I'd never rest in peace. I'd never rest in peace. If you jump, I'll jump too. 'Cause I would do anything for you. Call it love, call it.
So, judging by the sound of this sounds like I want to say, like a Romeo and Juliet situation where if one dies, the other's going to do what they do to remain with the other, if I'm assuming that correctly. You can clarify in the comments if you do, in fact, know if that's the case here. But also the part where Chris was sitting at the piano and the piano keys were playing, but nobody was sitting there. And then on the same token, where Chris was looking at Skylar, where the doors were opening, but nobody was there. So maybe they're in fact just two spirits eternally linked to each other. I might be reaching a little bit on that, but also if you have clarification on that, you can leave that in the comments section.
'Cause there is no me without you. If you ever leave, it would be the end of me. I'd die inside, but I'd never rest in peace. I'll never rest in peace. I'd never sleep, buried in your memories. I would die, but I won't rest. I won't rest. I won't rest in peace.
So we have Chris there coming in with the more side of the harsh vocals, which is more of what we're used to seeing from Chris and the guys in Motionless and White. But then you see here also where Chris and Skylar are in an embrace here, but yet they're starting to fade away. So I'm wondering what the point is of that. Not the point really, but the significance is what I meant to say. But we're going to continue to play out here and see where it goes.
I won't rest in peace. I'll never rest in. I'll never rest in.
Okay, so that is the end of the song there. But so the song there, the way it portrayed it, it was like a haunting relationship, I think it was, is how it was meant to be taken. But lyrically, it was very solid. Instrumentally, it was great as well. And just the way that they had the backdrop of the mansion or church or whatever that was there, that was a good choice on their part. So overall, I did like the song, and if you haven't checked out Motionless and White yet, go over to their channel and check them out and give them a subscribe and all that. And if you like what I do here at the channel, consider subscribing. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and share. And if you have any further recommendations by Motionless and White or any other band you'd like me to react to, feel free to leave that in the comments section below. This has been Chris Tractions, and I'll catch you on the flip side.